Hello and welcome everyone to HTMcast 17. Did I get it right?
Yes, we are on number 17 now.
What are we going to do once we hit the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s?
Quit.
Die.
I'm a Michy.
I'm Ty.
I'm Hat.
And we talk about League of Legends stuff and things, and then other stuff and things.
And we totally never skip podcasts like last week.
Yeah, you guys, I don't know why you guys didn't watch last week's podcast. It was great. We had, like, Mariah Carey and,
What would Mariah Carey be doing on a video game podcast?
I don't care, we had her. But apparently that podcast was invisible.
Well,
Michy, I told you not to use the invisible editing software.
it's so cool though, because you can do the cool little light thingy and it shows up and it's just like stealth.
It was so invisible, I wasn't even there.
I want to go ahead and mention that next week, hopefully we'll have a podcast, but there is a very good chance that we may not have one, either due to lack of information to talk about or due to the lack of Tim and I will be in California. So,
But not due to the lack of invisible juice. We'll never run out of that.
yeah. All right. So, are we ready to jump right into this?
No.
All right. My section first. Are you going to sing as soon as I start talking?
Yes.
Summoner Icon.
News or I feed!
Let's talk about the LCS.
News or I feed!
Tumult. Okay, the LCS.
News or I
feed!
I will fire each one of you. The LCS teams have their own icons available for purchase currently. There are 16 icons in total. Individually, they are 250 RP, or you can buy 8 of the icons for 1,600 RP, or if you're an overachiever and like to collect things, then you can get all of them for a whopping 3,000 RP. And both the 8 and 16 are at discounted, so it's cheaper to get. If you think that you'll get, like, if you think you're going to get 6 or 7, you might as well just get the 8. So that's a thing. The icons are permanent. You get to keep them forever until the day you die. That's nice. They'll even put them on your gravestones. That's neat. That's a new thing they have available. And they are available until, I don't know what this means, but it says the end of 2013 summer split. So, I mean, I'm guessing that means end of summer, or when they're done with the LCS until October.
Sure.
I think.
I don't just want TSM written on my gravestone. I want the TSM guys to bury me so they can let me down one last time.
Ouch.
Ow. Ow.
They're on your gravestones and stuff. They're pretty cool, pretty permanent though. So you better decide what you want now, because that's gonna be the only thing you die. Now I do believe that 25% of the profit goes toward the teams to help them out. So you're not just giving Riot your money; you're giving the teams your money. Yay, money! Hope you have a lot of it to give.
Doesn't the rest go to, like, the stream or something?
It may. I didn't read that much. I just know it's 25% off. So that's a thing. We have new bundles! Hooray! If you're not here for the last bundles or for the Lad podcast and you don't know how the bundles work, if you already own a part of the bundle, the price is dramatically reduced depending on... I can't even talk today. Depending on what you own. So if you own all the champions but not the skins, you're only paying for the skins. So
Flexible
that's awesome.
bundles.
I absolutely love the bundles. I think they're awesome. The first one we have is the Range Rovers. It only includes champions, but it includes Quinn, Draven, Varus, Graves, and Vayne. So all your 80 carries that are cool that actually are all the 80 carries I don't own except for Quinn, which is funny. I may just get that just to complete the collection.
Those are, like, my favorite carries, so...
Really? I only like Quinn, and I don't even like her as an 80 carry.
I mean, there's Varus and Vayne and stuff in there that are really cool.
Vayne's too hard for me. I'm too noobish at 80 carrying. It's one of those things I'm so terrible at.
You could get better, and then you can win every game ever with Vayne.
I'm working on that. Moving on, there's the Goodnight Sweet Skins bundle. These includes the champions as well as the skins. The skins are Caterpillar Kog'Maw, Sailor Gangplank, Hextech Galio, Muse Sona, and Molten Ramus, and these skins will be going after July 16th, which is only a couple more days, will be going into the Legacy Vault. Now, Legacy, for any of those who don't remember, means that you will have a chance to purchase them again, but it's not guaranteed when. So they're not completely gone, but there's no guarantee when you'll get them again.
So pick them up now if you want them.
Yeah. Next, we have the Pretty in Pink bundle. It includes both the champions and skin as well again. There's Stone Chaos Oriana, Bittersweet Lulu, Dynasty Ari, and Arm of the Fifth Age Tarek, i.e. Pink Tarek. So
I.e. best Tarek.
all the pinkish skins in the game.
I.e. the only Tarek.
And then, last but not least, and I'm kind of excited for this one, we have the Pentakill bundle, which includes, again, the champions and the skins. We have Karthus, Mordekaiser, Olaf, Sona, Yorick, and all their Pentakill skins. So, you have all of them.
What it needs to include is, like, your own guitar with, like, all the champions on it. I would pay so much RP for that.
So I'm glad to see there's bundles again. They are all available until July 16th at midnight, Californian time. PDT for those of you who don't know. Those are currently live, and I think if no one else has anyone to say anything about that, we are moving into patch notes.
Patch notes or our feed!
So many patch notes.
Yeah, big patch. First off, there was a brand buff. They reduced the mana cost on his Pillar of Flame and Pyroclasm, and they increased the mana on his Conflagration. Is that how you say that? Conflagration?
I think
Conflagration.
Conflagration. I'd also like to point out that they're doing this with a lot of Meiji champions, where they take their like mana costs, which were like 200 or 300, and they're just putting them down to 100.
And it looks like they're just changing it at later ranks. All the starting ranks appear to be the same, except for the increase on Conflagration. But yeah, so that's a thing.
It's all negligible amounts, like 10 mana here and there, so.
And then moving on to Draven. For those of you who don't know, Draven has a new passive. It's called the League of Draven. And the way that it works is he gains Adoration. He gains Adoration by killing a minion, a monster, or catching one of his spinning axes. And what this is pretty much him doing something awesome and fans cheering and going, "Yay, Draven!" and he gets stacks for it. And then when he kills a champion, he he consumes half of his Adoration stacks and gains gold per stack. But if he dies, he loses half of his stacks. So that's kind of neat. I think that's cute with the whole rooting for Draven and then booing at him if he dies.
They needed a League of Draven reference, too.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing, and I love that.
It also achieves the wonder of nerfing his early game damage without ruining Draven.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And I just love its name. I think that's awesome. Then we move on to Hecarim changes. They increased the mana cost on his Rampage at all ranks. It was originally 25, and now it starts off as 24 and ends at 40.
This is really going to hurt his jungle, and that's the point. It's going to hurt his jungle clearing, and that's all they really want to do with him.
They're not trying to remove him as a jungler, though. They're just trying to make him a little bit more...
difficult.
Yeah.
Manageable.
So he's not that overpowerful horse that comes galloping at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I can't believe they increase it at later ranks. Like, that's just insane. So it helps him early, it looks like, because you're got a 1 second less, so it helps your early jungle, but...
They don't want to hurt his first clear, but they want to remove all of his other clears.
What this looks like is at team fight phase. It's more of a he needs to, pay attention to when he uses it. Still good for the jungle, and it's easy to jungle. It's just the team fight phase that they really needed to nerf. And I suppose that's accomplished from this. And then moving on to everyone's favorite champion of the moment, Jace. Jace has been nerfed a bit. They increased the cooldown on his acceleration gate. It is now 16 seconds at all levels. So he can't use that as often. And then the basic missile speed of his shock blast was increased, but his accelerated shock blast is not. It's still the same thing. They actually they increased the basic missile speed at 100. That's quite a bit.
Pretty much what they're trying to get at with these Jace changes is removing his like edge cases, I think they call it, and trying to keep Jace's core gameplay the same. Pretty much why Jace is being abused a lot right now is because very specific builds make Jace really, really strong, where Jace otherwise is just a regular guy. So they're really just getting rid of the abuse cases while trying to keep Jace's core gameplay in there.
I, for one, will appreciate this. I am tired of overpowered Jaces, because I know Jace isn't overpowered as a champion, but I am just so tired of seeing him be unstoppable.
He's the abuse case of the moment.
And speaking of abuse cases, I'm seeing some pretty ferocious cannons lurking about.
The whole thing is top lane is really bad for melee right now. You have Jace, you have Kennen, you have Elise, you have Nidalee, you have Yorick. And all of these champions are getting played a lot more. And that's just making melee champions in top lane impossible to play. So they're looking at trying to tone down all these champions so they don't completely kick everyone else out of top lane. Like, the only melees who are doing good in top lane right now are people like Renekton, and Renekton is fucking broken.
Have they still not acknowledged Renekton?
They've acknowledged Renekton, but what are they gonna do?
Okay, moving back to Kennen. At level 1, they reduced his base attack damage. And then his Mark of Storm, the duration that the mark is on you is reduced to 6 seconds from 8 seconds. So he has to get the 3 on you faster to stun you. So if he doesn't kill you quickly, if he doesn't get you quickly, he's not going to kill you, pretty much.
You just have more of a window to get out of the stun.
Yeah. And then LeBlanc changes.
If you see these patch notes, they're ridiculous, but...
And you'll know why I'm passing them off.
LeBlanc's gone through a whole bunch of changes. The first one is that her mirror image from her passive will attempt to run away on its own. So I guess that helps with the juking and stuff with that. And pretty much all of her abilities have had their numbers normalized in some way. Like, you have the whole CC being, like, reduced or increased, and the damage and whatnot. And the big thing is, her ult no longer... her abilities no longer scale with her ulted abilities. When you ult and use an ability, it has its own base damages on its own. So your abilities aren't getting stronger just off of your ult's level.
The idea was LeBlanc, she had to max her Q first, otherwise she wouldn't have the burst because her Q-R combo would do no damage. But now LeBlancs actually have some wiggle room to, level up their skills because the skill doesn't have to be at max rank for the Mimic version to be any good.
So these are huge just normalizations in quality of life, and we should see better LeBlanc playing now, I guess.
They changed Nunu.
Good.
I'm not happy about this, but apparently he's been hell to deal with as well.
He's been abused a lot in, LCS and stuff, unfortunately.
It looks like at lower ranks they reduced the damage on his consume. So that'll be interesting for his jungle.
Well, the point was consume was doing more damage than smite. So the abuse case was to just wait in the enemy's jungle, wait for him to do his blue, and then you could just flash over the wall and out-smite him.
That does sound like it'd be annoying.
You would flash over the wall, you would smite, eat the blue buff, and there would be no possible way for him to stop you.
They also reduced his health per level. So
Which is fair enough, because now he gains smack gobs of health, and he's building more health because of the golem buff thing. When he eats a golem, he gets more maximum health.
Mm.
So they just didn't retune the numbers when they first implemented that buff.
And that just leaves Shyvana.
So, Shyvana. They've completely, I won't say completely reworked, but they've done a lot of stuff with her. Mainly, they changed her passive. Instead of all of her abilities getting something from her passive, all of the abilities now have their own thing. They just took her passive and sprinkled it amongst her abilities, and then they took her passive from her dragon form and put it as her normal passive. And then, of course, it still has the effect where she's in dragon form, she gets double bonus armor and magic resistance. The major change, and the only thing that really needs to be mentioned, is with her flame breath. They really buffed it. Now it will hit everybody in the AoE instead of just hitting the first people and stopping like most other skill shots, because it's fire. It just goes past the person. And instead of the bonus damage of hitting somebody on fire being based off the skill and her AP ratio, it now is based off their maximum health. So now Shyvana will be doing a lot of maximum health based damage, and she lights somebody on fire, and then every time she punches them, they lose a portion of their maximum health. That's Shyvana now.
Moving right along then. Actually, I'm really excited to see Shyvana changes. I really want to play her.
I want to play Shyvana all day, every day for the rest of my life.
Well, I guess you're going to have to fight with me, aren't you?
But I have the skin.
Which skin?
The Iron Claw one.
That's not the one I want. I want Ice Drake. Okay, so some changes. Let's see. I'm not exactly sure the best way to explain this, but at least Nidalee and Jace's transformation forms no longer count as casting an ability, so they no longer count as points on like Tear of the Goddess and Sheen and items that get. I know points is the wrong word, but they get points for using abilities. Stacks, that's what it is. Sorry.
So you can't spam Jace R or any of their R's really and expect to build up your tier.
And that's necessary.
Because that made the items core on the people. It's like, are you playing Elise, Nidalee, or Jace and not building, Archangels or Mirror Mana, respectively? Then you're not playing them right. So now it gets them... They can't really build this item effectively anymore, but I don't think they really care because that opens up a swath of new items for them to be as their core.
Doesn't Nidalee not care because she can pounce every second?
Yes, Nidalee doesn't care.
So, yeah.
This was mostly aimed at Jace, to be perfectly honest. Because the main Jace abuse build was Maximum Cannon, where it was Bloodthirster, Mirror Mana, and Last Whisper. And then you just fired off your Q every, 10 seconds and chopped off half of the enemy team's health.
I guess they just wanted to set a standard for transformations in general.
But this does not affect Swain, which is, which could be a point of confusion for some people. It's not going to affect Swain.
It wouldn't affect Swain anyways because his ult does mana.
It's like with Singed and Anivia.
Yeah.
Yes, he transforms, but he's technically channeling something like they are with their poison and their ice.
Mana is ticking down, so he's still building charges.
Yes.
And there's some pretty heavy ward changes. Vision wards and sight wards are now worth 30 gold when killed. And they changed it, so the person who reveals the ward gets part of the gold if it's killed, as well as the person who kills it. So for 80 carries who are taking the last hit of the wards to get the gold because the supports don't need it, well, it's important for supports to have a little bit of gold so they can get items to help the team and buy more wards. So now it's evenly distributed between who sees it first and then who kills it.
Which is fair for the supports.
Yeah.
Because wards basically are their minions.
Pretty much. That's all the gold they really get other than sitting in the lane and watching you farm. And, I don't know about you, but support battles over wards is the best thing I've ever watched.
The most intense part of League, hands down.
So, and then they changed Oracle's Elixir. It no longer expires on death, so you can't just kill someone and get rid of it. The duration is only for 4 minutes, and both on Oracle's Elixir as well as Oracle Extract, the invisibility detection radius is reduced 150. So it's at 600 now versus the 750 it was at. As well as now both of them display a radius as to where you can see. So if you're about to walk into a bush, how far you need to walk toward the bush without walking into it to get that Teemo room.
600's not a lot of room, though. That's like your typical attack range.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it because Tybalt's run into so many Teemo rooms when he could have killed them with oracles.
But you get literally half a second of notice if you're running.
Yeah.
So
that'll be interesting, I suppose. I guess it makes it so I don't know, but that's there.
You just have to pay attention, really.
I like how you took the opportunity to make fun of me.
Mm-hmm. Every opportunity.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's a Maul of Mortius buff. Tybalt, if you'd like to talk about that, since you're ever so great.
They've
It's
reduced the amount of attack damage you get from the passive, which is, you get some attack damage every 2.5% health you lose. Well, now it's 2% health that you lose, but it doesn't stack as high. And they moved that attack damage as well as given some bonus magic resist to the base item. So not as much as Maul Malmortius' power is in the passive.
The item is stronger on its own without worrying about your health.
Yeah, you don't have to be dead for it to be cost effective. That's all I got.
Sorry. I was making sure the cat wasn't going toward the TARDIS because she likes to hit the TARDIS. Okay, side note, my cat learned how to make the TARDIS go off, which is where her treats are in, and that's how I get her to come to me. So she'll come running to me if I hit the button. Well, now she knows how to hit it herself, so she hits it and gets treats. So, yeah, it makes loud noises all the time at like 4 a.m. Okay.
That's straight gold.
Yeah, we're almost done with the patch notes. Tybalt, did you want to talk about that too? You seem to understand that a little bit better.
What did I want to talk about?
The Death Streak gold.
Oh, if you're dominating somebody's butt and you've killed them like 6 times in a row, and then you kill them that 7th time, and you only get like 10 gold for it, that's going to end. Champions can no longer be worth less than 50 gold. So if you're owning somebody's butt and you kill them like 6 times and then you kill them that 7th time, you're going to get 50 gold. I'm glad you're happy about that.
Yay.
Moving on.
That just leaves the new item for that bridge.
Orb of Winter is coming.
No, I just meant the
it's
bridge.
already here.
I actually don't know where that's on the patch notes. I don't know anything about that.
It's built from 2 rejuvenation beads and a Negatron cloak, and this is only on Aram Howling Abyss. What it is a new kind of Banshee's Veil where you get a spell shield that will absorb 1 spell.
Oh,
However,
so it's a counter to Lux and Nidalee and all those menaces.
However,
no.
It's based off the shield will only refresh if you haven't taken damage within like 20 or so seconds. So if you're really bad at dodging skill shots like Michy is, it's not really going to help you much.
It just gives you a bit of like forgiveness for getting hit by one.
If you dodge 10 Nidalee spears but then get hit by the last one and die, that feels like crap. So, yeah.
And then the last thing is now on your loading screen, as most of you have probably seen if you played League recently. Your summoner icon is now shown where your ping normally is. They took the ping off and they rearranged all that. So now people actually get to see your summoner icon other than in the in-game thing. So if for what they've been doing for like the winter, where you get the special icon if you're really good, you'll see people who have that if they have it as their default before you get into a game with them. So at least you have a little bit of a heads up of what you're dealing with, a little bit.
I get to show off my Christmas Hapalis.
We'll get to see all the Udyr icons.
Yeah, that'll be nice. It'd be so much more fun for things like that.
Can we move on to PvE?
One last thing, there are map-specific champion changes being instigated,
I skipped that, sorry.
and there will be more in the future if this does well. That's all we're going to say about it.
We're not going to go into every specific champion change on every specific map, so we're just going to tell you guys right now that every patch be on the lookout for map-specific champion balances. Like right now, they've nerfed Singed on Twisted Treeline, and they've nerfed Cassidon on Dominion, so be on the lookout for that kind of stuff, because we're not going to talk about it.
Even though we just
have
did.
30 minutes, and we're like 25 minutes in right now, so hurry up!
We don't
PvE.
Yes. The first thing that we want to talk about is we want to give an update on the Master Yi changes.
They will be coming out with Udyr, and for some reason Udyr isn't out yet. But
Yeah,
Master
Udyr's
Yi,
late.
it's going to be coming, and he looks really awesome, and everything is fantastic, and he's going to kick so much ass. And it'll be great because all the new players who come in who have been owned by Master Yi beforehand, they are just going to cry and leave League now. Master Yi's going to kick everybody's butt.
As well as Tybalt said, Spirit Guard Udyr is still a thing. That is Udyr's legendary skin. It's Pulsefire tier. And
He
it
was
has
supposed
been
to be out already.
delayed.
but yes. And people are like, why isn't he out already? And Riot hasn't given a specific answer or a specific date when it will be out, aside from soon TM. But hey, it's more time being put into the skin to make sure it's perfect on release. Because
Didn't-
What?
I was about to say, didn't they say it was going to be 3.10 Is the next patch?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
hoping. They're hoping.
Okay.
But that's
Promises.
pushing back the whole patch, waiting for Udyr. So that's why we haven't gotten Master Yi and Lucian yet. And they've already like said that some of Udyr's like special effects, like his death animation and stuff, has to be saved for the patch after that to make sure it's perfect. So we're not even getting full Spirit Guard Udyr on 310.
That's
Just a
interesting.
couple of things are going to be missing. Nothing big.
Yeah, nothing huge, just the little extra tidbits.
All right, and an update. We still have that new awesome Sejuani skin coming out. I think it's Bear Cavalry.
Bear Cavalry Sejuani.
It's released for the opening of the Russian servers, and anyone who transfers to the Russian servers gets this for free. But I cannot wait for this skin. It looks awesome. We've got more pictures of it, like in-game stuff. Looks great.
Guys, she's riding a bear and she's swinging a landmine.
I
If
mean,
you play Sejuani, get this skin.
I'll probably be getting it until I get my Wolf Rider because I really want a skin for her that's not traditional.
And this one is like the best one you could get, in my opinion.
So are you ready for this next part, guys? Because we keep mentioning him, but we have not at all had a podcast talking about him.
Lucian!
Lucian!
Hey, Michy, who's
here.
this Lucian guy?
I thought it was Lucina from Fire Emblem. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I typed his name, I typed Lucina. It did not work. I was like, why can't I spell his name?
Oh,
only one letter
Lucy,
swap
I'm
from-
home!
I am so excited about Lucian, to be honest. He's a new 80 carry, and since I've been getting into 80 carrying recently, I am super intrigued by him. I don't even know where to start.
He's
Let's
Lucian the Purifier. That's the good start.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was looking for his title.
Formerly the Gun Templar.
You have hired gun on here, which is why I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Sorry, that's the skin.
Oh, okay. Spoilers. Okay, let's talk about abilities. All right, the way his passive works is that after he uses one of his abilities, his next auto attack allows him to shoot twice, except the second shot deals reduced damage. So while that is still pretty cool, it does do reduced damage, and I think that's a really cool passive.
I believe it's about 50%, so...
And then his Q is Piercing Light. It shoots a bolt of light through the target, and it damages enemies in a line. And my comparison to this is it's similar to Caitlyn's Q, where she shoots off the Piltover thing and does damages. Then we have his W, which is Ardent Blaze. He fires a shot and it explodes in a star-like pattern. And what it does is it marks all the targets in that star. And if you shoot those targets, or those enemies that are been marked, it deals extra damage and grants Lucian it actually grants him a boost of speed, burst of speed, speed boost, those things. And that is my equivalent to Quinn's passive, where Valor marks people and it does more damage to them. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad to see some more of that, some more stuff on follow-ups.
Michy, I'd like to get to mine hat section sometime today.
Nah, I really like Lucian.
Crusher.
And then his E, Relentless Pursuit, it allows Lucian to dash forward and it removes all slowing effects for him, which is amazing. And the cooldown resets if you kill someone with his ult. So that's amazing.
But what does his ult do?
But what does his ult do, you ask? Well, it's MF ult if you can move. He just rapidly fires his two guns, his dual guns at people and shoots them and attacks them and does damages, but he can move.
What I like to equate it to is like Max Payne, the inventor of bullet time, where he's like shooting, like jumping through windows while shooting off his pistols all in slow time, and you get to see the bullets, and then he kills people. He's just dashing all around the place, firing out bullets everywhere. It's gonna be great.
I'm so
Describe
excited
it
to try him.
specifically is he continuously fires in a line, not like MF ult where it's in an arc, and he
It's in
can
a
move and
line.
dash. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was in a line.
it's important to distinguish that.
I probably should have thought. And I don't really know much about his lore, but I do know he's got beef with undead people. So he's got a bunch of quotes with like Hecarim and all those.
I believe it
dead
was
people.
Thresh who killed his like girlfriend / wife to be fiance person.
Specifically, he trapped her soul.
Yeah,
Not just
that
killed.
kind of bites.
So Lucian is not happy with Thresh.
So that's really cool. And his skin looks pretty awesome.
Hired gun Lucian is amazing.
The only thing I know about it, I don't even know what it looks like at the moment because I don't have it pulled out. The only thing I know about it is his B animation. He just sits in the chair and looks all cool.
He like drinks a potion or something, and he's a total bamf. So
Looks
yeah,
absolutely awesome.
I've already bought him twice.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try him out and get him.
Cool side note, we believe this is going to be nerfed, but if you build his alt AP, it can do over 10,000 damage.
AP Lucian is apparently legit.
Dude, I'd love that.
Not competitively legit, but fun enough to take into normals. You know, if you rush a Rabadon's and a Void Staff, get yourself a couple of Gnasher's Teeth. Every time you fire that ult, that's a 40-second cooldown of 10,000 damage. That's guaranteed to kill somebody. I don't care how tough you are.
All right. Well, moving on from Lucian, we've got a couple of items that are surfacing on the PvE currently. All PvE content is subject to change.
The first one is Spectre's Hood, which now is what makes Spirit Visage. And it's health regen, magic resist, but it also has a special bonus that after you've been hit, you regenerate some of your health over time. So that's definitely going to help like top laners who are having trouble with these really bossy, ranged top laners. So that's something nice for, those poor melee dudes out there getting their butts kicked.
So this means Spirit Visage is going to get more health and that special passive too.
Yes, I do believe they buffed Spirit Visage now to have its own like set amount of health regen, which kind of rules out Warmogs, but we'll get into that in another episode. And the Spectre's Hood now also builds into Spellbreaker, which is a new item, which is Spectre's Hood plus Hex Drinker. Wait, is that right?
Sure, why not? Sounds right.
No, Spellbreaker builds out of Avarice Blade and Hex Drinker.
My bad. Whoops. Well, now we have a counterpart to Maw Malmortius that still builds from Hex Drinker. It gives Tenacity as well as the Hex Drinker shield, as well as quite a few of nice stats. So
you have an alternative to Maw if you want.
In an alternative to Mercury Treads if you wanted other boots than that. And you didn't want to build like Zephyr or something.
You're basically trading that AD per health missing thing for Critical Strike and Tenacity.
Also a much smoother build path because then you can build Avarice Blade.
Yeah. Any reason to build Avarice Blade is a cool reason to me.
Does that cover the items?
We are done.
Tybalt's form looking!
Okay, let me just speed through this. Zyra and Diana skins are confirmed. We don't know what they are. The Diana skin, I believe, just left concepting, and Zyra skin has been in 3D modeling for quite some time. They are in the pipeline. We don't know when. Nothing's confirmed. We don't even know what they are, but they're there.
You can slow down. I also want to make the comment that I'm pretty sure Iron Stylist said at some point that the Diana skin was going to be really dark and creepy while still being sexy. So that's a thing. I cannot wait for that.
Yay. Diana skin. Woo.
I'll probably play her more.
Now, people have been asking for a long time why Rumble hasn't gotten a new skin, and it's not like it's for lack of ideas, because so many cool Rumble skins have come up. My favorite being like Mafia Rumble, where his thing is like a cool Mafia car, and he's got the fedora and the black suit. But the problem with Rumble right now is that his model is really dumb. And it's really hard to make a skin for his model because there's all sorts of gizmos and things going all over the place, and nothing's actually rigged like it should be. So to make a decent skin for Rumble, it has to have the amount of time and manpower that you would put into a legendary skin. So right now they're trying to work on a Rumble skin where they just completely rebuild his rig, and then they'll use that idea later as a visual update. That doesn't mean Rumble's getting a visual update, but his new skin will be kind of like a visual update, and then once they get around to giving Rumble a visual update, it will be based off the skin. Okay, so Sivir is almost done, give or take. We got a huge update from Iron Stylist like yesterday at time of talking. Where he just went into how well Sivir is coming along. She is in like the 3D modeling and animation phase, which is apparently really far down the pipeline. Nothing confirmed. No idea when it's coming out. But the Sivir visual update is almost perfect, and it's fantastic, and everything's going along great. As well as he kind of confirmed something. It's just somebody said something, and he said something along the lines of, "Hey, you're right."
And then some more somethings were had.
Yes. Her run animation is apparently going to be like her running like a badass with her crossblade behind her, like she's ready to throw it, and then her other arm in front of her, to hold balance. and then the arm that holds the crossblade is going to be in like full, complete, total armor, where the rest of her is like in leathers and stuff. So that'll look really badass. And Iron Stylus is working on Scion right now. Right now.
Like
as
the
we
second?
speak.
Like, but what happens if the viewer is listening to this and he's not working on him at that moment and we lied?
It's right now. Iron Stylus doesn't sleep, eat, or do anything other than worship Leona.
Does he
So
squawk?
he's either worshiping Leona
Squawk?
or he's working on Scion right
Squawk?
now. So yes, I'm very comfortable saying that he's working on Scion right now.
Right.
So that'll happen.
Trains blowing up, exploding, derailing. Lots of explosions.
Oh, the humanity! Go on, Hat.
Wow, my section got really dark. So I have two instances of companies being assholes, but then backtracking and fixing themselves. I believe it's EA that was involved in Darkspore. Am I
Yes,
right?
EA runs Darkspore.
There was a scare where they were going to turn off the Darkspore servers because they were bug riddled or something,
And you can't play Darkspore without a server connection.
because it's like I don't know what Darkspore is, but apparently it's server reliant. So
You know
people were,
Spore?
Hmm?
You know the game Spore?
Yeah.
They took the character creation of that and put it in a much better game, and that's Darkspore.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was like there was a scare where players were like, "Oh, like what are you doing? I want to play this game," and you're gonna like shut it down like immediately. And apparently, EA found a way to keep the servers back up for those people who still play Darkspore. So that's pretty cool, but it's definitely showing that yes, this is a problem when you make server reliant games and you suddenly can't run the servers anymore.
This is the problem that's going to plague Diablo 3 and maybe League of Legends someday. Because without, a company-run server, you can't play these games, even if you paid for them. So that's one of the big things about this whole the age of video games we're in right now. Because you paid $60 for Darkspore. Well, as it turns out, if you read the fine print, you only bought a license to play Darkspore for as long as we found it profitable to run the servers.
And
So
it's
you
the same issue with SimCity. It's another thing EA did. But side note, apparently there may be a patch in the future which will let you play SimCity offline if anyone still cares about that broken game. So, yeah. The other instance of news involves Nintendo and their constant campaign against hating their fans.
We're so good at it.
I'm not sure what all of this is. I can only speak from articles and stuff. The site Shoryuken is apparently a popular fighting game site, and they're going to be having actually I think it started today or something, the Evo tournament stream, where I guess they just have a whole bunch of different fighting games and they stream tournaments and stuff. And apparently fans donated like almost $100,000 to this like breast cancer research thing in order to get Super Smash Bros. Melee onto the stream. I'm not sure how that worked, but that ended up happening. But then Nintendo was like, hey guys, no. And they were going to make them not... They were going to take away the right to stream Melee on that. One uproar of the internet later, Nintendo backtracked and was like, okay, you can stream it. But, yeah.
Nintendo's having problems lately.
Nintendo is being batshit, and they hate the fans, and nobody knows why. This is like just after their whole YouTube thing, limiting content on there of Nintendo games. So who knows what they're thinking over there. Moving away from negative to positive news, whatever that was.
I don't know. That's
Steam sales.
This is
Huh?
pretty negative
Yeah.
because my wallet is gone.
It's
Steam
negative
sales.
in the metaphysical sense.
Steam has started their summer sales yesterday as of recording, and we've already gotten some decent deals. Like the very first flash sale was Skyrim Legendary Edition for $35. And that was pretty good, I guess. And we're seeing a whole bunch of neat games so far. I think this is going to last until
The 22nd?
22nd. I heard someone else say 18th. I'm not sure which one was right.
I'm pretty sure I saw 22nd on their thing because I was like, wow, it lasts more than a week.
But yeah, it'll be for at least like a week. And be able to look out for deals there. The flash sales update every 8 hours. Their broader sales update every 24 hours. And it looks like the previous day's sales remain for another 24 hours, like at the bottom of the page. So you have a good 2-day window to look at deals and pick out what you want.
Confirmation: Steam Summer Getaway Sale, July 11th to July 22nd. It says it on their store.
They're doing things with like the trading cards. Like you can earn cards from voting on the sales for the flash sales, and for I think you get a free card every $10 you spend. So if you're into collecting those, that's for you. In other Steam-related news, Final Fantasy VII, after a couple of months of being on exclusively on the Square Enix store, it's come to Steam for $11.99.
That's exciting.
That's pretty cool. I don't expect it to show up on the sales anytime soon, since it just came out on the 4th. But yeah,
So nice that it's available to play now.
I'm tempted to buy it anyways. I might just put down $12 because I still haven't played this damn game,
Me neither.
and I really want to. I have only experienced like the first hour of it, maybe. So
I only watched the movie. Wasn't the movie based off this Advent Children?
I think it was like a sequel movie-ish.
Yeah.
My
But yeah.
friend Scalier made me play Final Fantasy on his computer, Final Fantasy VII, and I got like a couple hours into it, but he made me stop because I named all the characters really offensive names because I really didn't care.
Wow.
Well then. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Humble Bundle. I totally forgot to open up a tab for this, being totally professional. Humble Bundle has 2 different sales going on at the moment. Different from, I guess, the last podcast we did. The current main bundle is actually the Humble ebook bundle 2, and there's a whole bunch of books on there. I'm not sure if they share a certain theme or not, but that's exist. I just don't like. I'm not all that interested. But if you want to see that, humblebundle.com. Their weekly sale is currently on this set of games. I'm not sure what they are. They seem to be like old computer RPGs. A lot of them are Avernim games. So you can pick that bundle up too if you're interested in these old school looking RPGs.
List off some of the names for me.
Of the games.
Yes.
The first one is Avernim: Escape from the Pit, Nethergate Resurrection, the Geneforge Saga, Avedon: The Black Fortress, the first Avernim trilogy plus Blades of Avernim, Avernim: The Great Trials trilogy, and a whole bunch of game and hint books, or game art and hint books.
Never heard of any of these.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
I don't know if they're like recent or if they're like old games being re-released. It sounds cool. It's just not really my thing. I'm sure people who want this game are already aware of what this is. But yeah, Humble Bundle, check that out. These seem to be going on for at least 5 more days, 4 or 5. So you have plenty of time to pick those up. And the last thing to talk about is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
April
movie.
4th, 2014.
So I really liked the first movie, honestly.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Marvel.
I watched the first Captain America movie right around when I was really getting excited for Marvel stuff in general.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. So hopefully we'll see that in April of next year. Sad face.
For those who don't know, Winter Soldier, it's not Captain America becoming the Winter Soldier. It's Winter Soldier is his own guy. And he knew Captain America back in the day. And, something's happened. I think they're enemies. It's one of those weird things.
I don't know about the lore,
Frenemies.
sadly. So.
Frenemies.
And that's it.
Are we all done?
I
Yes.
think so.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this, don't forget to like it and subscribe to us. And we've got some current projects going on at the moment, if you're interested. Tybalt started his Vager vlog series, where he pretends to be Vager and
Watch it or die!
and complains about stuff in League. They're actually really short and really funny. I highly suggest going to watch them. We are still
Thank you,
working.
Michy.
We're still working on our How to League. If you're interested in that, we'll be having some videos for that coming up soon. We've got 4 out right now. If you're still new to League and you have questions, or even if you're a veteran and want to go watch them and give tips for new players, that's awesome. We are still continuing our Journey to the Ender Dragon series, which is Minecraft, where we derp around and scream and yell and die, and it's great. It's a great time. Oh, and we breed, like, sheeps. There are sheeps, like, rainbow sheeps everywhere. And then Tybalt's been working on his Through the Ranks series, where he plays ranked games and then voices over them afterwards and talks about his mistakes, because he makes a lot of them.
Marketing genius.
Yeah, I know. So if you want to see what other stuff that we do, go ahead and click stuff.
Can we talk about what we just did the other day?
Awesome Knots.
Awesome Knots.
Awesome Knots will be on the channel probably next week, depending on how California works out for me and editing and uploading. But we have started Awesome Knots. That'll be up soon. So if you're interested in that, keep your eye out because it's a lot of fun.
Spoiler alert, it's awesome.
But touche.
So yes, I believe that's it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
HTMcast.
Out!
Out!
Haha, copied you.